Good morning. Morning, everybody. Mm-mm-mm. Morning. I got this big old monitor, and my camera's always slipping down. Good morning. So much going on, y'all. So, Nine of Spades week. Happy Nine of Spades week. I have been getting no sleep. I hope that, um, good morning. I hope that y'all have not been getting any sleep too, because there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done. Hold on, y'all. We have Mercury retrograde, so this is the perfect time to prepare. And the Mercury retrograde, I think it went retrograde yesterday. So that was an Eight of Heart day. So we'll look at, you know what? I'll share the Eight of Hearts spread real quick, and we'll look at some of the things that we could be expecting from this Mercury retrograde that was born in a Nine of Spades week and in a Jack of Diamonds month and a Eight of Hearts day. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull up that spread and let me share. Okay, so we got it. We got it. Okay. So what you're looking at is the Eight of Hearts. Now, let me make sure. Hold on one second, y'all. And what yesterday was the 25th. Mm-mm. This was one of those times I was not really tracking Mercury retrograde like I normally do, because I think you can kind of get a little bit too distracted on the negative things. That, yeah, it was the 25th. So that was yesterday. You could get a little bit distracted on the negative things. Grand Rising. Absolutely. Hit me on the contact form, Village of South Carolina, and we set that up. I'd love to come down. Me out my neighbors. But so how cardiologists look at the forecast for a thing is we look at when it was born. So even Mercury retrograde has a birthday. So, when Mercury turns retrograde has a birthday, and it went retrograde on the Eight of Hearts, right? So, this is a retrograde that is definitely going to affect people like Diddy and Donald Trump a lot, because they're both the Three of Diamonds, and the Eight of Hearts transforms self, where the Earth card is the Three of Diamonds. So you'll be looking at some real aggressive transformational moves from them, kind of like chess moves right now. And yeah, Diddy was trying to get bail. And I haven't been following that the last 2, 3 days. I don't even really know what happened. I know 3 days ago it looked better, but then they discovered some bad moves on his part, on Diddy's part. They say he's trying to reach out and sway people and stuff like that. The interesting thing is what that makes me think with all of the things that Diddy is doing, which is actually threatening his case, is that he probably has somebody over him or higher than him that's putting pressure on him to make certain moves. I'm sure of it, because I don't think he's stupid, and a lot of those moves, a lot of those things he did didn't seem to be the smartest. So it seems to be, other things behind the scenes. And this is one thing y'all got to understand. This week is a Nine of Spades week, which is Neptune to the Three of Diamonds. So that means um, that means that the negative things that could be happening to these people, whether it's Diddy or whether it's Donald Trump, you probably won't find out about it right away, because Neptune is going to slow things down and conceal them in secrecy, right? And you got the Nine of Spades. So when you have a Three of Diamonds, what you have is, this is a very ambitious individual who will say and do anything to get what they, this is not everybody, not all three of diamonds. It's on the negative side. They will say and do anything to achieve a goal. And that means that if you don't wait to really see, or if you don't pay attention to their character, then you're gonna get sniped. The nine of spades and Neptune. You know what I mean? It's gonna come out of you, you're gonna this is like bad news. You know what I mean? So you won't get the bad news until you start to experience it later or whatever, right? So whatever goes down, like what's going down with them right now, and it's likely health wise, both of them are going to be affected by health because Nine of Spades is a health card. It's the card of this week. It deals with toxicity and having to eliminate toxicity. So what will happen with the Nine of Spades is that the toxicity will leave you like in your bowels or whatever the case may be. You might deal with the issues like the runs this week, diarrhea. You might pick up a bug that empties out your stomach or empties out your bowels. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because look, Thanksgiving is dead smack in the middle of the nine of spades. So, it's definitely like you don't want to overdo it, per se. But of course, people are going to overdo it. But the nine of spades has a four of clubs in Saturn. So, the four of clubs is like, you're going to in gatherings, number one, of course. But even if you are unhealthy, you can live, you can persist, you can endure, you can overcome obstacles. That's what the nine of spades is. So nine of spades, just because they may deal with they're destined in their life to deal with health issues, like Justin Bieber's a nine of spades, and I believe he was dealing with a few health issues. They're destined to deal with health issues, but they're also destined to overcome those health issues. They can overcome. They don't have to die, quote unquote. You know what I mean? They can live. They can even live a good life despite the health issues. That's really what the four of clubs in Saturn means. You have the potential to live your best life and to live a good life despite the fact that you suffer from something that some type of health issue, and today, guess what? The nine of spades is in Saturn. So today is a day where you may see it more than you see it any other day. So today could be a day that you decide that, I'm not going to eat today because I'm preparing for Thanksgiving, or I'm going to do a detox today or whatever, because today's a seven of hearts day, which is that's Dr. Sabi's card, right? So people start thinking about all of the ways, the things that they're going to get rid of after Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? So they're like, oh, next week I'm going on a diet, or next week I'm going to cut this out of my life and I'm not going to eat this. I need to lose weight. People will be thinking about all of those things today with it being in Saturn. They're going to be making their plans, because Saturn is those plans, those solid plans that you write down. They're going to be making their plans like, I'm going to focus on my health next week. I'm going to focus on my weight. I'm going to cut out these things. It's going to be the last week I eat X, Y, Z, that type of thing. So, so that's what this card is about. But so this week has a three, I'm sorry, this Mercury retrograde has a three of diamonds transformation. So that means that by the end of this cycle, there are going to be some financial explosions. People are going to be trying to make a decision on which way they're going to go financially. I got options, but what should I do because of what's going on? There's a lot of changes coming down the pipeline. Oh my God. You got the five of clubs in the moon position. So people are going to be nervous. They're going to be discussing, mainly women, because that's in the moon position. So this is going to be a time when women get together and actually think about their finances and their plans. Even the Queen of Hearts is in Mars with this, right? So the Queen of Hearts in the Mars position, what the Queen of Hearts does, and the superpower of the Queen of Hearts, is it makes things easier to do. That's what drugs do. Easier to handle, easier to consume. You know what I mean? So something, you take a drink, alcohol. Some people may take a drink before they go do something important because they need to get loosened up or whatever. Well, that's what the Queen of Hearts does. It makes things easier. So the fact that it's in the Mars position means that it's going to make it either A, easier for you to accept that there's a maybe a war coming down the line, it's going to make you easier to do the things that have been harder for you to do. This is a time where the things that you need to do, maybe it's work on a plan for the future, go talk to some people, blah blah blah. Like, this is going to be a really easier time to do certain things, right? This is also a time when doors can open for you, but because it's Mercury retrograde, you may over deliberate on it. You know what I mean? Like, you may doubt it, these opportunities that are coming your way, or these opportunities to make things solid for yourself. You may doubt those opportunities, right? It has the six of spades in Venus as well. And that also is a slowdown effect, So while you may have things coming, resources, money, or whatever, it may be a little bit slower getting to you, a little bit more intentional. But this could be the time that you receive some things that you would do that are due you, karmically due you, right? So how does Mercury affect all of this? Well, I was looking at the Mercury card, and the Mercury card is the six of clubs in Mercury, right? That's the messenger. So you're gonna have a lot of people talking. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people coming out and talking during this period. A lot of people trying to see both sides, because that's what the six of clubs does. Like, okay, maybe this is not all bad. Let me look at the positive side. Let me make plans for the positive side. That's what the six of clubs does. And what Mercury retrograde does is intensifies that, you know? So it's going to intensify your wanting to share your messages. I know mine was intensified. I was like, I got to get up and talk to my folks this morning. I've been working really hard on soft states. I've been working really hard on guap. We're relaunching the guap website. We're launching a new wallet. We're launching a slew of things on guap. We're launching soft states, because I personally feel that you got to get on the ball now. If you notice, on the front end, it seems as though Donald Trump and crew are getting on the ball early. They're like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. Mind you, he hasn't done the things that he's supposed to do to get in office yet, but he's putting out a lot of propaganda, a lot of talk. So what you're going to get is people putting out a lot of talk, a lot of propaganda, even me. To be honest, this is going to be the time when you're going to be hearing people put out a lot of collective talk, and what they're doing is the Eight of Hearts thing, is they're trying to get their people together. You know what I mean? So it's time to figure out who you're going to get down with, who you're going to be with, who you're going to get together with, because next year is going to get very hard for those who have not prepared. Okay. For those who have not prepared, next year is going to get really hard. And yeah, you can do a lot of things on an individual level, because Pluto and Aquarius, that's very individual. But the power is to come together and do things. Like, if this is an individual time and you're going to be struggling with collectively being a part of the collective, wanting to kind of just retreat away from folks and stuff like that. You have to fight that urge and create your extended family right now. You know what I mean? And when I say extended, it has to be extended. You got to have family all over the world right now. This is not the time for being just restricted to the United States, because we're about to go through some stuff, y'all. And I talked about that in my last call. And I don't like to typically talk about the bad things, and people don't like to even hear the bad things from me. I like to talk, but I bring it up because it's connected to the preparation. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know how serious you're going to need to prepare for what's coming. They literally announced more tariffs and stuff like that. And I'm telling y'all, I have to stay off of Instagram. Like, sometimes I even go under my Guap Coin account and still peeking in those comments and seeing some real some what they say, FAFO comments. I saw a guy say, oh, well, Trump did get ready for that real alpha male energy, he's on it, blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, alpha male about what? You could tell a person that doesn't go grocery shopping. You could tell a person that is not really supporting their whatever, whatever, because, they would be making plans, and it's not plans of like having a party with what's coming. This is not a party. Yes, this is a time for people to find their tribes. I've been talking about that. If you ever come get a reading from me, I always tell people it shows up in their spread. It's like you got to find your tribe, you got to find your soul family, you know, but you have to learn how to deal with your soul family differently. It's not about finding your soul family and it be some kumbaya stuff. Oh, we love each other. No, 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 no. If you don't love the world, then you don't love your soul family. If you don't love yourself, then you don't love your soul family. Loving your soul family is going to be about loving humanity right now. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be the bigger picture. It's not going to be all of the little details because there's going to be things about your soul family that you don't love or you don't like. That's why the United States has a two of spades environment. It's about learning how to work with and work around people who you don't agree with, who you don't like, and whatever. So, my next mode is to work around all of this stuff that is getting ready to be put into place, right? That's my mode. My mode isn't giving up or, um, being, depressed or sad. No, if it's going to be about the 3 of diamonds is the hustler. It just means that you're going to have to get in hustle mode, but not just in hustle mode on an individual level, but gathering people together. Think about the marketplace of the past. Like everybody used to come to the market with their goods and stuff like that. All of that is going to come back. You know what I mean? Like it's literally going to come back. The marketplace and all of that. I was talking to my friends this morning and she was talking about how the price of produce and everything is going to really go sky high. So that means that we're going to be having to get food from local markets, farm them, stuff like that. Yeah. So now is the time to what? Get you some land, get connected to people who have land, have your place, have your plans in place for real, because these corporations, they're about to have a big come up on y'all, a big field day. Again, they looking forward to hiking those prices and all this other stuff because they know nowadays people passively do things. People passively buy things. A lot of people don't even pay attention to the fact that something they bought is $3 more than it was 2 weeks ago. They don't even pay attention. It's very passive because y'all are internet people. Y'all are social media people. So you're used to just scrolling by, scrolling by. So that means that you're not looking deep anymore at the real world. You'll scroll by, you'll scroll by. Everything has to be done fast. Everything has to be short, everything, whatever. So you don't even give yourself time to process the changes that are happening. You just kind of roll with it. And they know that. So they know that they can take advantage of, where you're at right now because they know that you're just going to roll with it. That's where we're headed. It ain't even where we're headed. We're already there. So because we're already in all of this, I can't sit here and say that, how long Trump is going to be there, if he's going to make it to inauguration, all of that. I can't even think about that. You know why? Because we're already experiencing him. Already. Like, he's already affected. When he opened his mouth, Jupiter and Gemini, he's already affected what's getting ready to happen down the line. Because these companies, they're already making their plans for next year and the year after based off of what he says. So even if he was to drop out or something happened tomorrow, these companies have already set in motion the change that's going to happen globally. It is going to impact globally. The change is going to happen financially and resourcefully. That's it. You know what I mean? And no, it's not a pretty thing. But the reason why I titled this "We All Have Our Destinies" is because it's very true. You all have your destinies. And now, even more than ever, it's important that you know what your destiny is. It's important that you know what your yearly spread is. It's important that you know what your cards are saying for you, because you're going to have to build, strengthen, and enforce your belief system centered around what is possible for you. What is the highest that you could possibly achieve this year? Nothing anybody does could stop that. You know what I mean? So if ever there was a time for cardology, it's now. And what's interesting is the card for cardology is Donald Trump's Uranus card, the Nine of Clubs. And what does that mean? Uranus is out of bounds, y'all. Uranus is the energy that represents what can free you, where you can be free. You know what I mean? So it's like what Saturn is restriction, Uranus is going to be freedom. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, they definitely going into hiding. You know, they packing and going because he's talking about day one. So he's like, I'm not even going to leave you no time to figure out what I'm doing, and it's going to impact everybody because look at the thing. You raise the prices on you raise tariffs on the fruits and vegetables that are going to be coming in, right? Then you kick out the people who are working in the farms. Let me tell you, unless it's your farm, not a lot of people are going to be going to work in farms. You ain't not going to be able to get no millennials, zillennials, sorry, to go work in a farm. It's funny because I was telling my friend also this morning that in Barbados, there was I don't know if they're still doing it, but they were giving away land. They were giving away farmland. And do you know why they were giving away farmland? Because nobody wanted to farm the land. So the people who do come and farm the land usually come from like I think it's Grenada and these places in South America, right? They come over there and they work and then they go home. But the people in the country will not, they do not want to work that land. There is just some people, it is not in your constitution, it is not in your makeup to be a farmer. That's a lot of work. I don't care if you need it. You might grow a little couple of vegetables in your house. They have all of these things. So a lot of these different new farming techniques are probably going to take off. So you want to invest in those, like the vertical farming and all that other stuff. Vertical farming is absolutely going to take off because people are going to have to grow their own stuff. They're not going to be able to afford to buy these things in mass in different places. So it's going to be vertical farms. Some of y'all refuse to leave the city. I can tell you to leave the city all you want, but you're just not going to leave the city. So what you're going to do is what? You're going to get into vertical farming. You're going to get into trying to raise whatever food you can in your own house, right? So right now, people are going to get into stocking up. So that means that you should be buying food right now. And you're going to have to get into canning and all of that because that's how you're going to preserve your vegetables and stuff. You're going to have to learn how to preserve vegetables and preserve those things, point blank. So even if you are farming, even if you're in and you're not, you're going to have to learn canning and preserving your own fruits, vegetables, and even meat. You can even preserve that stuff in that. They have tons of how-tos all over the internet how to do that stuff, right? So you're going to have your own shed or supply of food because you never know what's going to happen. You know the price is going to go up, but you never know when them shelves might go empty because aside all of that, there's natural disasters, there's weather changes, and already during natural disasters and weather changes, what disappears? Food. They're talking about getting rid of all of these public programs, reducing food stamps, maybe even getting rid of food stamps and all of that. You are not going to have those things to rely on. Period. So I have the Eight of Hearts open, and I'm telling you, what are the things you need to think about? The Queen of Hearts deals with food, and it also deals with your indulgences, your pleasures, and it's in Mars. So you have to think about even your indulgences are going to be strained, are going to be whatever. So some of y'all might want to get into the liquor business or whatever the case may be, and put away some liquor because that, hey, where you get your tequila from? You know what I mean? All of that. We don't even need a trigger to enact martial law. He's going to enact it. What it things you don't realize is that he's going above all laws in protocols because they have protocols to do things, but they never had enforcement. That was the problem with our government. They said certain things, but they didn't have the enforcement set up in case somebody did those things, in the government, believe it or not. They have laws. They say that you have to sign this paper when you get ready to go into office. This man ain't signed the paper yet, and there's nobody that can enact anything on him because there's no consequence to it. No consequence. So he's doing things, and his people are doing things that they know that no one's going to act on. His loyalists are not going to act on. And then there are people that are just too nice, Democrats or whatever, too nice to act on some things. So they're what I call this riding it till the wheels fall off. So they know that something is coming down the pipeline. They know that regardless, an ending was coming. So they was like, let's do this our way. Let's end this our way, and let's ride this thing till the wheels fall off. Because when they ride it till the wheels fall off, they become the robber barons that they are. They can get as much money in the process, as much resources in the process, and boom, when the proverbial ish hits the fan, they got stockpiles. They got this, they got that, they got money, and there's a group of people that have nothing, nothing, nothing. So the time is now to prepare. Period. The three of diamonds is also a preparation card. It transforms into the four of clubs, which is my card, which is the card for preparation. So all of the worry brings and desire for peace of mind brings financial solutions that you can implement so that you can create your own peace of mind. That's what that means. So by the time we get to the end of this Mercury retrograde, you are going to be fully worried enough to do something with your life. Point blank. You're going to be worried enough to take charge. So, a couple of things I got going on Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern is going to be my 2025 webinar, and I'll go deeper into all that stuff, right? Go deeper into the cards, go deeper into where the money opportunities are, go deeper into what certain cards need to be doing in order to excel during this time. Because, like I said, you have your own destiny. This may be your time to excel. I'm ruled by Mars. When you're ruled by Mars, guess when your time to excel is? During war times, during times of intense pressure and stuff like that, especially when you're ruled by Pluto, right? So if you have a lot of Mars, you got a lot of Pluto, you need to be looking in those areas because those are the areas that are going to thrive for you. Those are areas that are going to boom. Just like an area may get affected negatively during the Mars time, because that's what's going to happen. You are going to have an area that just like, you know what I mean? But you're also going to have an area that's like, look at me. How many of y'all are familiar with what is it, the four cups, right? And they're staring at the three cups and there's a cup behind them. This is that time. Don't focus on the negative, draining side. Focus on the things that you have not considered and looked at, like crypto, like guac coin, like come together and form these communities like sob states. And I'm giving you the suggestions of the stuff I've already created. You could create your own. I'm not telling you not to create your own, but you better get on it now. And it better be it better involve technology. It better not just be 100% offline. It better involve technology because you are going to need to communicate with people all over still. So it needs to involve technology, and that's the Aquarius part of it. Then I have my sob states meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I have both links in my description. You get your reading by going to aquariusmaximus.com and clicking on contact and just send me a note and I'll get it and I'll respond to it. Or if you're trying to get a new reading, you go to my snip feed. All of that is on my website. aquariusmaximus.com is still there. We're so used to social media and talking to people in messages and all that other stuff. but you can go there and you can click contact. And a lot of people got my number. My number is still the same. They text me, they call me, or whatever. But if you don't have my number, because normally that's what I do when I was on Instagram. If you come in my box, I give you my number, tell you to call me. But you can go to my website and you can click on contact. So peace. So lots of things going on, and that could be it could be a little bit. Look at what's in the Pluto position here, the Ace of Clubs. That is the card of curiosity. What the Ace of Clubs is about clearing out what you think you know and learning other things, like opening up, being curious, act like a kid, act like somebody who don't know ish. You know what I mean? And go out and ask questions to find your answers because you're going to find answers. This is a great time to get readings because it has an Ace of Clubs in Pluto, Queen of Clubs reward. This is a great time to get readings. So whomever you go to your readings or whatever the case may be, this is the best time to do it. This time is going to be the best time to do it. And that Ace of Clubs is also technology. So it's in Pluto. So technology is gaining more power and is changing, right? There are changes that are happening on websites. People are leaving websites. More and more people are going to leave websites. They're going to go to places that they have more affinity to because that's what the Eight of Hearts is. Imagine like Facebook groups, which is Eight of Hearts energy groups. It's like all of those groups picking up and starting their own website or their own platform rather than just being on Facebook. You are not going to be able to rely on these places are going to be here tomorrow, you know, and these groups are going to become more important to you than ever. So why would you leave your group on something that can just pull the plug, change the rules, kick you out, ban you for something maybe you said, all of that. This is reality of where we're going. And then you have a 10 of spades in the peak position. The 10 of spades is the card. That's work. That's work. You know what I mean? So this is the time to put in the work. There's going to be a lot of sleepless nights. There's going to be a lot of insomnia because your work, or not insomnia, probably want to sleep, but late nights because you got to work. You got to work at your plan and stuff like that. That's what it's going to be. So this is a fairly good card, by the way. If you notice, it's Neptune, Jupiter, right? So it's talking about you still being able to build abundance behind the scenes because Neptune is secret, you know? So this is like you're going to find that groups get more secretive. Accessing a place is going to get more harder. You know what I mean? So you're not going to just be able to walk up in something or walk up to somebody. You're going to have to be a part of a group because, of course, people are going to be skeptical of people and your motives. And are you coming there to spy on them? Are you coming there to whatever? So you can expect that things are going to tighten up in those areas. They're going to get more secretive again. It almost reminds me of back in the days where you have the mysteries and the mystery schools and all that stuff that's literally going to get that way. And it's funny because, Neptune is getting ready to go into Aries, which is like the astrological first house, right? And it's bringing all its secrecy with it. It's bringing all the things that, it's going to make people move a little bit slower on their goals because they're going to be considering who's an enemy and who's not. You know what I mean? So that's bringing that energy into play. Who's an enemy and who's not? Who's really down with me and who's not? Who's here? Who might stab me in the back? But technology can solve those problems because technology can make it so that you don't have to rely on people in that way that you have to feel like they could just snatch the rug from under you. You build something strong that the community comes and works hard for. So they don't just come after you, quote unquote, a leader. They're coming after the whole body. So the body has to get strong during this time. Leaders will fall. Leaders will get ill. Leaders will fade away. Leaders will retreat into the darkness, all of that type of stuff. And with Neptune going into Aries, crypto is exploding and is going to explode even more. but so are scams. You know what I mean? So are crypto scams. Like some of the scams that happened back in the days, the rug pulls and all that other stuff, it's gonna be a lot of that, especially next year. So that's why I'm focusing on education, getting ready to release an educational platform from my banking platform, Carry, that teaches about crypto, to gives crypto education, teaches about what to look for, these things that may be quote unquote scams, and put it through a scam test and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? All of these things that I'm building into my financial platform. So, but it was so good talking to y'all. I know I'm running my mouth this morning. I gotta get to work. That's why I really haven't been here. Um, a couple of days because I've been working in and out to get this stuff, launched, to get this stuff done. Because I feel like there's very little time. Things are going to kick off really quick. I want to beat the rush. This ain't the rush. I want to be, and when I talk about the rush, I am talking about the FAFO rush. Those that didn't take this seriously enough to understand what stakes are at play here. So I want to be ahead of that. And I'm not even ahead. I think I'm ahead, but I'm not ahead. I'm really behind, but I'm ahead of other people. Put it to you like that. So if you don't have these things in play now, you're behind. If you are not educating yourself on these things, you're behind. So that's where you don't want to be. When there's a rush of people running everywhere, running in chaos, last thing you want to do is you trying to sit there and figure out where you're going to go. You should have that already down pat. And that's where you need to be today. Today, that's where you need to be. I'm not dwelling on the past. I'm not dwelling on the election or anything like that. My spirits is like, get ready. You know what I mean? You already been preparing, but get ready. What I wanted to happen did not happen. I wanted us to be able to go into this, more comfortable, not in fear, not in suffering, not in seeing others suffer. But there are a lot of people who don't give a F. And that is the reason why we're here today. And Pluto and Aquarius is really coming to light. And that is how much people do not care for others because they don't feel that what others do or think, whatever, affects them. So they're going to F around and find out. And I'm all for that because I'm tired of it, point blank. So you know where I am. If you hit me on my contact form, I will respond. I will I respond to all my contact forms. If you got my number, call me if you need to, because text messages be kind of wacky. I appreciate your support. Subscribe if you're not subscribing, like all of that other good stuff. So I'm just more concerned with the people who are supposed to show up, where I'm supposed to show up. I'm not concerned about the whole of YouTube. I'm not concerned about everybody out there. I'm concerned about the people who are supposed to show up. And that's the builders, because it's the time for the builders now, you know? So, and there are people who are not builders. There are people who refuse to be a builder. They want to wait till you build to show up. So that's them people too. God bless their souls. But I'm here for the builders. I'm here for the people who want to stay ahead. I'm here for people who want to build their businesses, who want to thrive, who want to live spiritually free with what they want to do, who want to be their best, and who want to respect others for being their best, who don't want to be bullies, who, have a love for humanity and earth. That's who I'm here for. Everybody else, if you bitter, you're a bitter Betsy, I'm not for you. I'm not for the bitter Betsies. You know what I mean? I'm not. Not at all. No, to zero for the bitter Betsies. I have no time for that. I'm building up walls to keep the bitter Betsies out of here. So we roll, we roll. And that's it. So remember the meeting tomorrow. The link to register for the meeting for SOB States is there. If you want to become we're building the founding digital members of this. And one of the things that I'm launching this week is the first DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization. I'm building the first DAO, trying to launch that, trying to get the wallet out for five sob states, and also the invitation system to invite people to be a part of this movement. So that's where I am. My goal is to build a headquarters. I want to get a headquarters started by the top of the year. And what is a headquarters? A headquarters is a place to run operations out of. We're going to need a place to run certain operations out of. You know what I mean? And because I'm not trying to be running operations out of my house, I'm just not. I wanted to want to develop a headquarters where people can come, where we can gather, where we can have classes, even if you don't live here, where we can you can come and camp out when we have the classes. When we have classes, we'll have a week's worth of classes, and you'll be able to come up on the land and camp out because I'll be camping there. Y'all know I camp. That's what I do. I don't necessarily plan on building a home there, but I plan on camping there right with y'all because that's what I do. I like to camp. And I'm telling you right now, part of your awesome arsenal should be a camper of some sort. You should have a mobile a home where you could pick up and go. Why? Because that's fairly inexpensive, y'all. It's mobile. A lot of y'all cannot decide where you want to go. And that's because you're supposed to be a nomad. That's why you can't decide where you wanna go. You can go anywhere. You know what I mean? So get your camper, whether it's a large camper, a small camper, a van, you're gonna convert into a camper, get that. Get your home on wheels. And then when you buy land and you decide that you wanna build on it, then you can do that. But right now, so many things are up in the air, you're gonna wanna be mobile. So why not have a mobile home? You know what I mean? Don't have to be big. You could get a truck and attach something to, whatever. You can get creative now. I believe that that is the now and that is a part of the future is going back to being more nomadic because that's how we were in the past. You know what I mean? We were nomadic. So, yes, get you a camper. We get together, you're a part. If you get together and be a part of the group, we all can go places together. We can camp together. We can drive here. We can go here. We can see the country. Even if the shit is hitting the fan, y'all, we find a way to make it work. That's how we do. We've been doing this. Yay. Thank you. Oh, cool, cool. Another and this was in my wish. This was in one of my dream books was to have like a group of campers and we just go places, stuff like that, and whatever. That was in like one of my wishes. I've been doing it by myself, but that's not how I want to do it. I want to have collectives. Like you got your camper, I got my camper, whatever. We go places and we see what we can see, and we're able to be mobile and stuff like that. So my suggestion is you look into that. Not even just because it's my dream, it's because right now it's sensible. It's really sensible to see how things happen until it calms down. Then it calms down, then you go, okay, I'll build my house or whatever the case may be. But right now, you wanna be somewhere where you can be the A to Z in no time. You know what I mean? And still got your house on your back. That's how you wanna be. So, and remember, like I said, crypto is becoming a big thing. And I've already built a crypto foundation that I'm about to pour my last little bit of soul into because I know that's going to be the thing now. Now is the time. Now is the time. And it's interesting because I think we're having I know sidereally we're getting ready to have a full moon in Leo. And Guap, the ascendant is Leo. I'm gonna share Guap's natal chart on my comments for y'all, so y'all can see how dope Guap's natal chart always been dope. So y'all can see how it is. I'll do that today. I've shared it before on social media. July 14th is my birthday, and I just got my human design chart. I'm not built for manual labor. Gal, a lot of us, gal, guy, I don't know which one, village of South Carolina, but a lot of us are not built for manual labor, which is why we're going to struggle when it comes to this, where we're going to get our produce from and our farm stuff from, because I don't care how much you try. That's hard work. That's not where we're headed for. We're not headed for hard work. That's why they're building all these robots out here. That's why the pandemic came in and debilitated you. You know what I mean? I mean, pandemic came in here and gave lots of people conditions, including myself. You know, so we're not as healthy as we were pre pandemic. You know, and all of that. So I don't see us getting out there doing that farming. I just don't. Not enough. So, but yeah, she said we could pull together, we can, and that's what this is about. That's what it's about. This is the comment of the day. We can pull together. That's what it's about. And that's what us women, mothers, that's what we do it when I mean during war times. You know what I mean? You about to see it. You about to see it when I'm talking about. And even the brothers too. And I totally respect y'all. And I hope that the brothers that are down. I can't wait to see y'all show up to the party or be at the party or even lead other parties and all that other stuff. Love it. Love it when I see that. And I love when to see when we can work together, but it is going to be very challenging. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there are people that don't want to see you work with us. There are people that don't want to see men work with women. They want to see men rule over in patriarchy women, not work with us. So that's just the reality of it. There are people who do not want that to happen. So just note that and note that I'm not one of those people. That's not me. I want to see us work together. I might have my things to say, but I grew up around men who could take things that women say and not fall apart or feel victimized or anything like that. I grew up around real men, like those types of men. That's how it is. My dad, my grandfather, all of them, they weren't those types that I'm seeing out here now. You looking a little unfamiliar. That's what my daughter said. Yes, I was like, no, my daughter, I was like, what's that? What's that say? Mom, she said, Mom, you're looking a little unfamiliar. That's what I'm seeing with a lot of guys out there. They're looking unfamiliar to me. That's not what I'm used to seeing. So, but I got the ones that are looking familiar. Love y'all. Shout out to all of y'all. We can work together. So, and well, look, I'm doing the alien finger side. But yes, we can work together. And I think that we're gonna build some great things because that's what adversity does. Adversity makes you stronger. So peace. I'm about to peace out and I've got to tell y'all that 2024 coupon I gave y'all is over tomorrow. So that's in my thing. So use that coupon code and sign up for my 2024. You know what I mean? I do these things. Yes, I do these things to raise money. Hell yeah. Because everything I do costs money. I ran through a whole bunch of, I don't know what yesterday in AI credits. It's for my apps. So yes, I do these things to raise money. I don't have a donation link up, but I give service so that I can take those funds and just spend it right back on y'all. That's what I do. So the coupon code for my 2024 webinar is early bird, all together, one word. And the link is in the details. So that will get you in for half price. So I appreciate you. And like, look, I'm transparent. I tell you, these are my fundraisers. Point blank. Those are my fundraisers. I love to do it. This is something I love to do, but everything I do takes money to do. So I will see y'all later. Peace.